Western Groove. I'm gonna try and make this a little quick thing. Uh, just something that kind of caught my curiosity while watching Crawford unify, while Andre Ward was a color commentator on the fight. I was just kind of looking at Ward standing there and like, I mean, I don't know. I don't be seeing dude all the time, so I don't really know how his demeanor always is. But to me, he almost seemed proud, like like in Terrence Crawford, but like in himself as well. Like I kind of just watching him on the TV screen, I kind of feel like he was there in that moment, feeling the rush of the crowd. It was a huge crowd over there in Lincoln, Nebraska. He was feeling the rush. He was, just feeling himself there. Boxing event, thinking, man, this could be me. And I got 3 belts, and all I gotta do is fight Adonis Stevenson. But after the fight, I mean, look, I haven't went and watched the interview, right? I haven't watched the interview, but I think maybe on ES News or something like that, uh, there was a video and it was titled like quoting Andre Ward saying, I fought Kovalev twice already, and Adonis hasn't fought him once. What's the excuse? So I don't know if that was like Ward kind of saying it in a way like he doesn't want to fight Adonis Stevenson. Like if someone asked him about fighting him and will he now unify. But I kind of saw something in Ward. I feel like like I don't really know with Ward because remember he was talking to retirement after the first Kovalev fight. So it's really no telling. Like he could be talking all this, how he's talking about Adonis Stevenson, and then next thing we know, the fight could be made. For the next undisputed champion. And me personally, I think that would be wonderful. I think that it would be wonderful for Andre Ward just right now, just like as being a boxer and having his name out there and whatnot. I think it would be good for that. I think that it would be good for his legacy. Uh, if all you have to do is fight Adonis, like, and personally, I think that Ward, I think that Ward beats Adonis pretty easily because I don't think Adonis is as skilled as Kovalev. I think that if Kovalev comes back and fights Adonis, I think Kovalev beats Adonis. That's me though. Not everybody thinks that. Everybody believes in Adonis one hand. I don't. I don't. I don't believe in his one hand once he starts to get up there like that. You know. But Ward should unify. Like I'm not really interested in seeing Ward fight Tony Bellew. Like if they made the fight and it was free for me to watch, I would watch it. I would give Ward his credit if he won, moving up that much. What would he fight at, cruiserweight or heavyweight or something. But I would rather Ward stay at light heavyweight 175 and fight Adonis Stevenson. I think that would be, and I think that would be a big fight, another unified champion, and I believe that people seeing that, I feel like it will become a trend. If we don't just have one guy, just one, you know, not just one guy that is the undisputed champion in boxing. Just how they talk about it. The last one was back in the early 2000s. Like, if we can have two at the same time, that would be, man, that would be, that it would set a standard going into 2018. It would just set a standard. We got two unified undisputed champions in two different divisions, 140 and 175. It would just, it would spark welterweight. I think welterweight's gonna be unified soon. As long as stuff goes to plan. What's gonna hold up welterweight, which has been holding up welterweight, is Top Rank. With Pacquiao and Horn, and like, so that's gonna be the belt that's gonna be out there, kind of like finagling for a while. But just unify. You know, heavyweight divisions looking to unify. Like we need to make these belts a thing again. You know, it helps the sport. Uh, it helps the fighters' legacies. You know what I mean? And it helps the fighters right there at that second. Who's Julius and Dongo? You know what I mean? But they uh they they talk about it a lot, and really, and this is for real. I think being on ESPN, Bob Arum getting this thing with ESPN and showing some legit fights, like Golden Boy's always showing some shenanigans on ESPN, but Top Rank showing some good fights. This is good for the fighters. Like I got people messaging me knowing that I'm into boxing. They're not into boxing. They just watch football or basketball or baseball, but they're getting that sports news from ESPN, and just sitting there all day with the channel on ESPN, and they see something about them talking about the fight and how meaningful it is in the sport of boxing, and then they end up texting me or hitting me on some social media asking me about the fight. So I think that ESPN is a good platform for the fights, and they should keep using it. You have Pacquiao fight on ESPN. They should have every fight on ESPN. They should never go back to pay-per-view. That's what I think. I think that there's almost never a reason for pay-per-view unless it's Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Big. It should be on TV. Like I understand as a fighter, right? As the promotional company, you're just looking to make as much money as possible. But as when it comes to just your legacy living on, you being a great fighter that everyone recognizes, okay, if you sell 2 million on pay-per-view, like, yeah, that's good. But what if instead of selling 2 million on pay-per-view, you get fucking 75 million views around the in just the United States or whatever, just whatever. I don't know what it'd be, but 75 million views, 100 million views, that many people in the world watch you fight and watch you dominate this guy, or watch you battle back from adversity and come back to win, or watch the back and forth affair that led to one guy or another edging out the victory on the judges' scorecards. I'm getting off topic, but Andre Ward, unify. It's bigger than you. We need to make this a thing. We need to make this a movement in boxing. It's these unified titles, especially after Floyd goes in there in front of the world and shows the world what boxing is. When he dismantles McGregor, it's going to bring a lot of people over to boxing, and we're going to have a chance to bring ourselves back up to where we should be. We're going to have the chance to make it where 10 years from now, we're going to have deeper divisions, instead of, 4 or 5 people in the division are even worthy. It'll be 10 people deep in every division are really good fighters. The top 10 in each division could all beat each other. Like when's the last time there's been that in boxing? At least the top 7. Like, we get wet salivating at the mouth when there's like 4 guys in a division that are really good, and it's like, should that be, should we hold the money up to our ear for that? Should that be the epitome of what it is we want the sport to be? We should want it to grow more, have more people get involved in it. Yeah, just unify Ward. If Ward can fight Adonis Stevenson in 2017, right? If he can fight Adonis Stevenson in fucking December or something, I think that 2017, right? I'm not by any means a boxing historian, so I'm not saying this like this is my opinion, like this is not my educated opinion. I'm just saying this. I feel like maybe perhaps something that could be looked into is this being just truly, without a doubt, hands down, the best year in boxing ever. Ever. But it is what it is regardless. It's Western Groove, and I'm out.
Words. I'll always dream a dream with you. Those things we meant to say and do. Give them a go. they will make him so.